Why, hello folks, welcome to another round of Modern. We have Brady Monroe on Prison Tron versus Alex Gimme on Grixis Death Shadow. Now, if you don't know what Prison Tron is, it is an interesting blend, right, of your typical Tron deck. And, I want to say Mono Red Prison, because it's like the closest thing that we've had to a meta Prison deck in a while. I guess there's like a Mono White version as well. But you play Chalice of the Void in the main board, and that's like your main lockdown aspect. But there's like Spellskites, Mystic Forge, and Karn the Great Creator, almost in Mystic Sanctuary, a card that is definitively not legal in Modern anymore. And it is a very interesting deck. You get to do some cute things. And then Alex's deck is your, your typical Grixis Death Shadow deck. I didn't see anything too interesting when I looked at it. Just your normal good pile of good cards. Now, Brady has a Urza's Power Plant and an Urza's Mine and an Expedition Map in play, so that means he's going to have Tron live on 3. You can see he has an Urza Saga in his hand, too. His deck plays a lot of artifacts, so he's able to power up, or power out and power up constructs exponentially. There's that Mystic Forge and Karn the Great Creator. Alex is going to resolve a Thought Seize. Which one? I guess you take the Karn here, knowing that your Tron opponent's going to have 7 mana available turn 3. Though you could take the Mystic Forge. If you are unfamiliar with Mystic Forge, it is not a draw spell, but let's say it's kind of like a draw spell, but it lets you play cards off the top of your deck. It's definitely a card advantage engine. So, 4 mana, you may look at the top card of your library at any time, and you may cast the top card of your library if it's an artifact or a colorless non-land card. And then you could tap the Mystic Forge, pay 1 life, exile the top card of your library. So you're not playing cards like, you can't play like Ancient Stirrings off the top of the deck, but I'm pretty sure Brady's entire deck is colorless spells, minus potentially a couple things. Because we saw that he has a basic island, that could just combo with something else. This is a deck that occasionally pops up in like 5/0 dumps and just kind of other things. Like if you go to Goldfish, I'm pretty sure you can scroll down and find the deck list. Because it's something that I see every once in a while, and I question whether or not if people actually play it. Just because, again, it's not something you see all the time. But every once in a while it pops up. While the Modern Tier 1 is, pretty thoroughly defined right now, there's a lot of really cool, Tier 2 decks, I would say. Maybe even Tier 3. Actually trying to see if I can scroll through and find a list right now. Because I am curious as what the blue is for. There's probably something that I'm just not thinking of. That I saw during this match. But yep, there's a Mystic Forge playing a Walking Blist off the top with X equaling 2. Or X equaling 1, putting 2 mana into it. So it'll be a 1/1. Able to shoot down the Ragavan. Shoots down the Ragavan, passes the turn. Alex is going to draw on his upkeep for that Mishra's Bauble. Alright, going to fetch a Watery Grave here. Now, it is always interesting seeing if, granted, I looked at this deck, I saw the Death Shadows, but there's been an uptick in people just playing, Grixis good stuff at the store, and just not playing Death Shadows. So it's always interesting when I have someone on camera, and it's do you actually play Shadow? Do you not? I don't know if Alex is playing Ledger Shredders. I don't remember if I saw them or not when looking through the deck. 2 mana Expressive Iteration. So I casually bang my knee against the desk. Exiles another Ragavan. Cast out that Ragavan. Passes the turn. I imagine Brady's going to play out an Exosagus here. Plays a Welding Jar off the top. Alright. Plays a 4/4 Ballista off the top of his deck. I actually really like cards like Mystic Forge. That and Realm Walker are two of like my favorite card styles, where it's like you can look at the top card, you can play the top card of your deck. They're just very fun and interesting to play with. The Ballista shoots down the Ragavan. Welding Jar, if you don't know, allows Brady to regenerate target artifact. I think you sack the Welding Jar to regenerate an artifact. Oh, I think the other part. Oh, what the hell is it? There is another part of the prison aspect to it. There's something in the card board that you wish for, and I can't remember the name. Alright, Alex terminates the Ballista. Brady's just going to respond by removing all the counters and shooting Alex a couple times. Putting him to 7. Which allows him to play that Death Shadow as a 6/6. Oh, what the hell is the name of the card? No. Prison, Tron, MTG, Goldfish. Alright, what do we got here? Possess Portal, yeah. So it's an 8-mana artifact. If a player would draw a card, that player skips that draw instead. At the end of each turn, each player sacks a permanent unless he or she discards a card from his or her hand. Then there's a Witchbane Orb in the board as well. There's other good lockdown pieces. There's a Serum Powder, which we saw off the Ragavan hit. Where? I want to know what the blue's for. Why is there blue in the deck? There's 2 islands. Am I super missing something? Oh, duh, it's for Spellskite's effect. Genius. I forgot Spellskite's activated ability. Because it's Phyrexian, right? Yeah, it's Phyrexian, but you can pay blue instead of the 2 life. Hey, there's a Ledger Shredder. We were just talking about it a couple minutes ago. Fantastic card. One of the, like... I would say, Capenna and Kamigawa, while one incredibly better than the other one, still 2 very good standard sets. Capenna Draft, not very fun, especially coming off of the back of Kamigawa, which is an incredible drafting experience. If you're ever able to get out and do a Kamigawa draft, or if there's one on MTG Arena, I definitely recommend doing it. There's a lot of fun cards to play with there. Brady has made 2 constructs and is, you know, fetching out an artifact here. A 1 or 0 drop. Looks like he's contemplating that Relic Progenitus. I know it wasn't the case, but it looked like an Amulet figure was in his deck, and I have questions if that's the case. Yep. Alright, goes and gets a Basilisk Collar. Those constructs are huge. 2, 4, 6, 7. Are Spellskite's artifacts? Or are they just colorless creatures? No, they are artifact creatures. Good lord. Yep. Here comes the card in the Great Creator. Now, Brady will be able to eventually just out his own Ensnaring Bridge. goes against the portal. Also, he can just kind of play the portal next turn. Sack out his bridges. And yep, Alex is just gonna scoop it up. Brady's gonna take game 1, and we'll be right back with game 2 in just a second, folks. And we are back with game 2. We got Alex on the play here. Gonna have a pregame effect of Gemstone Caverns, exiling an Inventor's Fair. He's gonna have a luck counter on it. Okay. Alex is going to fetch shock. Thoughtseize here, going down to 15 life. We see Forge, Ballista, 3 lands, 2 of which are Tron lands. I feel like you have to take the Forge after, like, Forge overperforming in the last game. I guess you could call it overperforming. It's what the card is supposed to do, but performing very well.
You're good.
Tower and pass.
Okay, plays an Urza's Tower for turn. Passes back. Alex is going to Thoughtseize again, going down to 13. This time we have Karn and Mystic Forge. Opted to take the Ballista.
Take the Forge. Go ahead.
Takes the Forge this time.
Mine cast Chalice as well.
Draws a Chalice of the Void. Jesus. Plays a Chalice out on 1. And not the place you want to be if you're the Grixis Dash Shadow player at any point in time, because Chalice on 1 can be backbreaking. But especially if you're trapped on 1 mana, it's not a good time. Here comes a Karn the Great Creator. Goes and down ticks. It probably goes to get Liquid Metal Coating, just because, like, if your opponent's stuck on lands, right, like, you might as well just actually take them out of the game.
Go ahead. Yep.
Going to
Yeah, you got it.
play Liquid Metal, and Alex is going to scoop it up. Brady's going to take a 2-0 with Prison Tron over Grixis Dash Shadow. Thank you for watching, folks, and have a great rest of your day.
So they got the chalice.
Small overall.